The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse Ewing. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle, where you can access your full potential right now. Finally break free from destructive habits. That dream life, if you want it, you can have it. This is where you transform your health, mind, business, and relationships. Or do nothing and keep your life the way it is. But if you're ready for change, you're in the right place. This is where you're gonna learn how to live a habit-based lifestyle. You are tuning in to the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with your host, Jesse Ewing. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle. Let's go.
All right, guys, welcome to the Habit-Based Lifestyle and Business Secrets show. Today, we're going to be talking specifically about the 4 key steps to managing, 4 key steps to burnout for business owners. So, number one thing with this is obviously business burnout is the feeling of exhaustion, often is from lack of interest in the daily work, and it really results in poor performance. And so on today's show, I want to really go through, what are the reasons why we really suffer from burnout and experience burnout as a business owner. And, after working with thousands of business owners, whether it be in the training industry or in the coaching industry, these are really the things that I hear people say, like, hey, I'm feeling burnt out. And I'll usually go through kind of a series of questions. And in these questions, they usually reveal what's going on with, the clients that we work with and the clients that we talk to. And so I think the biggest thing is a lot of times people who are burned out usually feel like they're doing business, they're doing life all alone, and they have to do literally every single thing themselves. And because of that, they lack trust in building a team, they lack trust in other people, and they usually don't have accountability themselves. And so as we go through today, I want you to really think about for yourself, one, are you experiencing burnout, or are you, one of these 4 things or multiple of these 4 things you may be doing or have kind of a lack of, may not be doing. And so, getting into this, hopefully you can kind of experience a little bit more of this and know where it's coming from. So number one reason why I really feel like people are burnt out, especially today, is they do not have a defined vision. And you hear the saying of, like, without a vision, people will perish. Without a business vision, without a, marriage vision, without a physical body vision, without a spiritual vision, you will perish, either in one of those areas or multiple. And what I find a lot of times is people may have a short-term goal in business, and it's usually tied to a dollar amount. But when you talk to them about, well, what is your long-term vision with your business? A lot of times they either make something up or they just don't know. And so the very first place we always start is like, hey, what is your vision for your business? And, the thing that I find more common than not is business owners are burnt out because they feel like they're not accomplishing what they set out to. They feel like, well, if I don't have a vision, then think about this. If I don't have a vision for my business, for my marriage, for my life, then no matter what I accomplish, good or bad, I'm always going to feel like a failure because I don't have anything defined. I don't have a place or destination I'm trying to get to. And, I think of a goal as a destination that we're working on getting to. That kind of represents the next level. But a vision is more of a journey of where we're going, and it's a longer term goal or longer term vision of where we want to go. And so I think of, like, you could look at a mountain as, as a goal, like, hey, I'm trying to reach this peak of this mountain, but a vision is almost like seeing this mountain that's the highest mountain that very few people have climbed, but it's in my life. And it could be centered around the type of work that I want to do. It could be centered around the people I want to help. But whatever that is, it's something, a vision is something you're probably not going to accomplish in the next 1, 3, 5 years, 10 years, but at least there's markers along the way to say, listen, I'm on this path to my vision. A goal is going to kind of help you stay on the track to getting there. And a goal is usually something shorter term. My goal for the next 3 to 6 months, my goal for the next year is to get to here. But that long-term vision is what's really going to keep us from burning out. And I think the cool thing is when we have a powerful vision and when we have a strong vision, that keeps us focused on our goals, that keeps us focused on where we're going. And that's one of the first ways that I see people experience burnout. It's just not having a clearly defined vision. And we could also say clearly defined goals in the shorter term. Now, the other part of this is, if I don't have a clear vision of where I'm going, if I don't have clear goals of where I'm going, then what happens is I usually don't celebrate the wins. And this is an area where I really struggle with for a long times, where I would focus a lot on my time and energy on my goals. I was a little bit different. I'm driven a lot more by competition. So when I have goals, I feel like I'm competing. When I have a vision, I feel like I'm competing against myself. And in that, there's an opportunity for me to win in those goals. But sometimes, and for me, a lot of times, I would accomplish, these big things, get these big goals, but I would not celebrate any of those accomplishments. I would, immediately finish one of those and then immediately focus on, okay, well, what's next? And so that led to a lack of fulfillment, not feeling like I was accomplishing anything and not really taking the time to really step back from day-to-day life and say, okay, listen, man, I'm going to celebrate this win that I had this week. Or what I changed in that was saying, okay, listen, I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to write down 3 wins from the last week in my personal life and in my business. And that I can tell you that no matter how big or small those wins are, when I celebrate those, what happens is I actually set myself up for more success in those areas. And I think a lot of times it's important to look at the wins we have, in our marriage. It's important to look at wins that we have in our physical body, in our, in our relationships, and of course in our business. But I think business can always be defined as, new clients, new maybe new money coming into our business. But sometimes just defining the wins when it comes to our team, when it comes to our culture, is a really cool place to be able to do that. And then in other areas of my life, like this week, hey, maybe we won in our marriage with our prayer life, and really staying committed to that. And that's just as powerful as any financial win that I've had. Maybe another win could be, doing something with your kids, or for me, it's coaching my son's football team, and just taking a step back and realizing, hey, this is my son's last year that I'm going to be able to coach him in this same capacity, unless I decided to do it as a high school coach, which it's kind of hard to do. But just thinking of it that way is like, really celebrating those wins every single week that, we don't normally do. And so 3 wins from the personal life and business life. This is a great way to set yourself up for more wins, but also to keep from burning out. Because if I see myself winning, man, I'm just not going to get burnt out, or I'm not going to get discouraged when I can find those wins throughout my day-to-day life. Now, the other thing is, I ask people a lot of times, hey, what are you doing on a day-to-day basis to invest in yourself? And most business owners will invest in, the stock market and housing, mutual funds, crypto. all these things. They even invest back into their business, but what are you doing on a day-to-day basis to invest in yourself as a business owner? Like you personally, your mindset, your skill set, what are you doing on a day-to-day basis to invest in yourself as a husband, father, leader? What are you doing on a day-to-day basis to invest in your health, your fitness, your relationships? So investing in yourself is really you. Like, what am I doing on a day-to-day basis to invest in myself? And I think of it like a bank account. If I continue to invest in myself daily, my bank account is never going to be withdrawn. And even if it was for that day, I still have enough dividends. I've still invested enough in the last month, 30 days, last, 2 or 3 years, that if I, took out a major withdrawal, I would still be positive in that bank account. And so really investing in yourself is like, what are you doing with your own personal account? When we talk about your physical health, we talk about your mental health, your spiritual health, your relational health. What are you doing on a day-to-day basis to yourself to invest in yourself first every single day? And, I could sit here and say, yeah, you need to get up at 5 a.m., invest in yourself for the first 3 hours every day. It doesn't really matter when you get up. But what I will tell you is the people who spend the first hour, 2 hours, 3 hours every day, and really take the time to invest in themselves, invest in their relationship with God. These are people that don't get burnt out. These are people that, maybe if you do experience burnout, it might be for a day, but it's not for months at a time or years at a time. And you no longer going through the motions of life. You are creating the life that you actually want. And so that key to burnout is really just investing in you on a day-to-day basis. And then the other thing is, I think this is a overlooked thing. We talk a lot about the hustle and grind, right? We talk a lot about the hustle and grind of life. And, sometimes we wear that as kind of a badge of honor. But one thing that I've seen a lot of business owners, and I'll ask them, hey, when's the last time you took time off? When's the last time you did this? They're like, I lose money when I take time off. And I said, yeah, I understand. You might lose money when you take time off, but think of a rubber band as like, I pull myself back and I slingshot myself forward. So I may lose money temporarily, but slingshotting myself forward, I'm going to actually accelerate because I'm recharging, renewing, and refreshing. And so think about that time off is a time to recharge, renew your mind, renew your body, renew your spirit, renew your relationships. And whether it be, one day, whether it be an afternoon, whether it be a small weekend, I think it's really important that we can take time off and schedule that in our schedule, get out in nature. We live by the beach, we live by the mountains. We also kind of live by the desert. So we really have like 3 ways. And whether that's taking a short vacation with your spouse, I think it's important that, hey, if you're feeling burnt out in your relationship, or maybe like you don't have time with each other, but it's kind of burning things down, I think it's important that you go recharge your relationship. I think it's the same way with your kids. If you're not, scheduling time or taking time for your kids, you can get burnt out with them. I think, it's busy, right? My kids are in football, cheer, and soccer. And so there's 3 things pulling away from us, being able to spend time together. And yes, we may go to their things, but we're not always able to really communicate in those. And so I think it's important to take time away, whether it be on dates, date nights, doing something fun. But I think you need to schedule time off. And so one of the biggest things is like burning out or working, too long of hours. Is like, I used to work 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. And one of the things that I found is I wasn't really getting any more done. I was just giving myself more time to get things done. And in that meant I wasn't as efficient at work. And so really today I usually start my day around 9:30, and I'm usually done by 5 p.m. at night. And I'm getting more done in probably, the first 3 to 4 hours of work a day that I used to get done in about 8 to 10 hours a day. minus all the clients that I was working with. But, I think it's important that we schedule time off with ourselves, maybe an afternoon or maybe a day, to where we can really work on that creative energy. And then also, taking time off with our loved ones, because I really believe that the reason we became business owners was because we wanted to have more time, money, and freedom in our life. And if we don't schedule time off, we're just eventually going to be burning ourselves out regardless. And so the 4 keys to managing your business, or managing your business as an owner and managing that burnout, is having a defined vision, defined goals, celebrating your wins, celebrating your successes, making sure that we're investing in ourselves on a day-to-day basis into our personal health. What we do inside of Habit-Based Lifestyles are 5 areas of health every single morning, and then making sure that we're taking time off that you can do every single month, every single week, so you don't burn out. And those are some ways that you can really start managing that burnout process and making sure that you're not doing it. And you can just simply ask yourself, like, I want to leave you with this. So when's the last time I sat down and really defined my goals? When's the last time I sat down and looked at my vision, or do I even have one? When's the last time I've celebrated a win or a success? When's the last time I invested in myself in the morning? And then when is the last time I took time off with myself, dating myself, my spouse, my kids, or maybe went on a vacation or a long weekend with them? And I think that's the place we can really start asking a question. Now, the other thing is like, how do I hold myself accountable to these? I think the number one way you could begin to do that is hire a coach, get inside of a mastermind, a group. I kind of hate saying mastermind, but get inside of a group of entrepreneurs so you don't feel alone. You have support and you have accountability to make sure you're doing these things on a quarterly, monthly, and yearly basis. And I really believe that that's the power of getting coaching. That's the power of being in a group, is to have that. So want to leave that with you guys today. I know you're inside the Habit-Based Lifestyle Business Secrets group or community. If you want to talk more about this, or how our team can help support you in this business owner burnout, feel free to just type in burnout. We'll make sure we reach out to you. If you're listening back on the podcast, we'd love to connect with you. You can also contact me through email, jesse@habitbasedlifestyle.com. Until next episode, have a great day.
The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse.